What's going on, everybody? This is Jeff with Altcoin Buzz. So now we're going to take a look at the current market conditions and see what we're looking at, share some thoughts, my thoughts, your thoughts in the comments, and we're going to take a look at what's going down here, right? So Bitcoin dominance is staying at 55% while this number keeps increasing. So Bitcoin slowly going up, and this number is slowly going up, but we're only seeing a couple interesting price actions, and one of them is Qtum. So I'm drawing your attention to this. Now, when I wanted to, the first thing that I thought was, wow, I wanted to pick up that position at $12 here recently, right? I think we've mentioned it a couple times in videos, but we didn't exactly go over it, although we had our eyes on it. Now, I know before I even clicked on it, I knew that it was out of Asia and that it had the potential to be like a NEO type pop, right? So, and the funny thing is, the NEO is 15, Qtum is 16. So before I even went into it, I was like, I guarantee when I click on it, I'm going to see that the Korean won is what's fueling this, right? So let's click on it. I already clicked on it, so I already know the answer. But I mean, in my mind, because I know like Monacoin and Qtum, look at this. Sure enough, 56% of it, well, more than that, right? It's almost like 70% of it is coming from the Korean won. So INC is also a Asian cryptocurrency. So that's one thing to keep in mind. If you guys are looking for some sneaky buys that you can get in as a, let's say, an American, or I don't know where most of you guys are watching from, but these Asian blockchain cryptocurrency opportunities really do exist. You can get in on some of the hype over there. And I'm calling it hype, but it's also backed by some good tech. I'm not going to dive into the Qtum website or anything like that. You guys can come on here to CoinMarketCap, check it out on the website. But, you know, when I see this Korean won, I've seen it a couple times here, and I'm introducing you guys to this because when there is a, like, let's take a look at NEO, for example. We all know this one's out of Asia too. And, you know, Singapore, Japan, Korea, they're hotbeds, but most of the places that are really innovating on the tech for a safe spot in Asia are between Singapore and Hong Kong. You'll notice most of these techs have some sort of affiliation, or even Japan, but Singapore and Hong Kong are really at the cutting edge of all this. So let's take a look here at NEO and see, okay, so NEO to BTC. So we're not really seeing too much Korean won or Japanese yen here. We're seeing a little bit of Korean won. So there's no real hype going on with this one. But I would anticipate at some point the Korean won will start pouring into this. There's just big money coming in through the Korean won. Part of it has to do with, my assumption is that the people in China who can't actually use the exchanges in China, they can just go to the Korean marketplace. So I think what you're seeing is it's Korean won, but it's Chinese. A lot of it's Chinese money. I could be wrong though. Okay, so I would anticipate that China is using the Korean exchanges, because if you look at China in the map, you'll see that South Korea is like right next to China. So that's kind of cool to know that, right? But a tech like NEO could get a pump from the Korean won. We've also seen other cryptocurrencies experience these massive Qtum type runs from the Korean won. And as a matter of fact, Ripple was getting a big pump from the Korean won. Let's see. Oh, see, this is what's been really driving Ripple, by the way, guys. Korean won. So you can see that this Korean won, which it's being masked as the Korean won, but it appears to be Chinese money. So China is slowly but surely getting back in the game through the Korean won. So just keep an eye on that, how they're going to affect it. Oh, this is EOS. So EOS is actually getting a Korean won pump. Let's take a look at Ripple. Korean won there too. So this is important to know, because it's going to help you to stay ahead of the curve. Now, if we look at IOTA, let's see how much of that is Korean won. See, so you don't have the Korean won here like you had in some of these other cryptocurrencies at the top. You have USD. So a lot of American companies, or a lot of American investors getting behind IOTA. Let's take a look at Cardano and see where that investor interest is coming from. 88 to BTC, Ether, Korean won. There is some, oh, that's low volume, less than 1%. So Bittrex 88 to BTC. So a lot of Bitcoin money pouring into Cardano, which means we don't know where that's coming from, but we know it's coming from through the cryptocurrency Bitcoin, the Bitcoin. Now, if we take a look at Dash, which is another one that's a privacy coin, it's an interesting one because it is rising steadily. It's surely but steadily, it's rising. And if you look at the 3-month chart, you can see this one, you know, it was at, what, 283 back in October. Now it's all the way up to 900. This is a privacy coin. It just kind of, it's going to keep going up. Like if you've got the money, you know, get into one of these, get into 2 of these, try and get some of these right here. It's the leading cryptocurrency for privacy coin. Let's take a look at where the money comes from. Yeah, BTC. See, people take their BTC and they put it into Dash. Now, I'm surprised to see that people are taking their Dash and putting it in the Korean won, or the Korean won to the Dash. There is a 10% volume for that. So Korea's putting their money into this. Well, we call it Korea, but we know that it's more than likely got some sort of Chinese money coming in. And it's probably not the average Chinese person. It's someone who's like, it would be like an American who's able to do offshore banking, right? So it's something like that. But it's something to add to your radar of things to watch and keep your eye on. Now, if we just take a look at some of these other cryptocurrencies that are seeing a rise, let's see here. Where do we got? So I'm looking at the 24-hour. We got Binance Coin. If you're on Binance, you can actually own some Binance Coin and invest in Binance if you like the platform. Vertcoin's down, so that's PivX is also down, which in the red means time to consider accumulating if you like. If you've been thinking about it or on the fence about it, this is like a Dash alternative, and this is like a Litecoin alternative. So, and this is like a Ripple alternative for privacy, but it's down over the last 24 hours. So we'll see where maybe Verge is stabilizing, or maybe it's getting ready to do, who knows? It's hard to project that. Now, if we just keep cruising here, people like this Cash coin here, it's if we take a look here, it's getting some injection from USD, Ether, BTC, a little bit from Japan, but not too much. I'm not seeing too much Korean won, but I would keep an eye on this one to get some Korean won injection. It's still a fairly new cryptocurrency, even if you look right here. You know, it came out in middle to late November, so it's still pretty new. Now, if we just flash back here, let's take a look, see what else we got going on that we can talk about. So Litecoin, I am on the fence with the retracement. I'm hoping to see Litecoin go to 250 personally, because that would be my buy-in time again. But if it doesn't go back to 250, then I'll have to reset that. But I'm personally waiting for that. As far as Ripple goes, you know, it's hard to tell if Ripple's done rolling. Bitcoin Cash hasn't really done too much, so you almost get the notion that at some point Bitcoin Cash is going to get a little run again. But Bitcoin Cash and Ethereum are different than the rest of the top 10 in the sense that when they run when everyone else is not. So keep that in mind. Like we already went over Cardano. This EOS, man, I know I already pulled that up, but this one's really just in a league of its own and everything it does. So that's interesting. Lisk, I'm still really big on Lisk, and I think it's proven that at around $8 is a solid buying opportunity for Lisk. But even at 10, this project, I think, with all these application platforms, like even Ethereum getting accused of not being able to support CryptoKitties and having bugs in its system, something like Lisk that's taken its time to learn from all the mistakes, when it does roll out, it can even capitalize on that and be a stronger application development platform for other blockchain technologies. So I would anticipate that Lisk is going to be strong for that. Same with Cardano, because the old CEO of Ethereum, now the chief technology guy over at Cardano. So used to be over at Ethereum, now he's at Cardano. So I'd imagine that he probably learned from the things that he saw wrong with Ethereum and probably made it better. So that's why I would say if I'm looking at application developer platforms like Qtum, which is running away with it right now, but Cardano and Lisk seem to be two that I would keep an eye on for that, as Ethereum continues to have to iron things out with various different forks, and you know, they're going to continue to upgrade it. But yeah, Ethereum, you guys are probably seeing the news, so it's not anything that I'm coming up with here. Now, about that Korean won stuff, here's that Monocoin. Let's see what's going on here, where that volume's coming from. Japan. So this is a popular coin in Japan, 46% volume, 8% volume. Now, let's see if we can zero in on a nice buying opportunity for this Monocoin. Okay, so we've seen it as low. Let's take a look at the month. Seen it as low as 12. It's hard to say if it'll go below 10 again. So it seems like it's stabilized right here. I mean, that's up to you guys if you want to get into this position, but it looks like it's going to just keep getting injections of cash from Japan, which is a wealthy country that has a lot of money to throw into their favorite cryptocurrencies. And I think Monocoin is proving that it's stabilized here. I mean, this is, what, almost a week now where it's been around this little price range here. And typically, based on the historical, it looks like it stabilizes and then goes up, stabilizes, goes up. So it's maybe going to stabilize and then go up again. And you're not buying at all-time highs with this, because we've seen it as high as almost $20. So you're not buying at an all-time high. You would be buying on a dip, but you're more than buying on a dip. You're actually buying on a stabilized dip. So if we just zoom in a little bit, 1363, that's about the resistance point. You could even call this a secondary resistance at 11 something. So keep an eye on this, guys, and let me know what you guys think about the market right now, what you're seeing. It looks like Bitcoin is probably getting ready to keep pumping. I mean, we talked about this yesterday in that Bitcoin bull run video, where Bitcoin will be all in the green and all these other ones will be seeing red at some level. Like over the 24-hour, most of them are seeing red, but even if they're not seeing it at the 24-hour, they're seeing it in the 7-day, or they're seeing it in the hourly. Common. Now here's two that are not, Stellar and Ethereum Classic. So Ethereum Classic is another one to add to your radar. I bought Ethereum Classic at $12. I didn't buy a lot, but you know, I'm not that big on it, but it's proven to be a good investment for me. You know, so there's a lot of things to keep in mind here. You got Waves. I mean, Waves is another one of those. And then you have NEM. Let's take a look at this NEM, by the way. This NEM is something to keep in mind, keep on your radar. So it's pulled back off the tie. It had an incredible run, 65 cents. Pulled back down to 36 cents. That would have been the dip you would have wanted to jump in. And now it's risen back up again. So remember, we're buying the dip. And let's see where this money's coming from. Japan. 20% of it's coming from Japan, because we can't tell where the BTC is, but we can assume that that's probably also coming from Japan, or yeah, probably Japan. So keep an eye on this NEM. Price range that I would call it a good buy would probably be in the 30-cent range. So if you see this NEM in the 30-cent range, probably a good time to step in. So a lot of this focus is talking about the Asian cryptocurrencies and how you can get involved in some of these cryptocurrencies coming out of Japan, Korea, Singapore, etc., that are getting hyped over there, and you can jump into that mix. It's kind of like forex trading, but you know, it's just a way to make some quick trades with some upside and opportunity for you in another marketplace, really. So add this NEM to the equation. And I think if we pull up this website, it's an application developer platform, I believe. The Smart Asset Blockchain, built for performance, introduction to NEM. Blockchain technology, fundamentally streamlined. See, they look like they're sophisticated tech here. I believe they are a smart contract developer application. I don't know the details on that, so me personally, that's why I have not invested in it. But because of its meteoric rise, how it's just risen onto the scene, it's now in the top 10. I have to pay attention to it because it's in there, but it doesn't mean that I know it like these other, 10, even Monero or EOS or Stellar. Out of these, I would say the one that I don't have any much information on is NEM. That's why I haven't invested in it. But I know that if I'm just looking at it from a chart perspective, before I look at the tech, obviously I'm not going to make an investment until I look at the tech and understand what it is, because that's not smart at all. But from a chart perspective, I wouldn't be buying it at this price because I'd rather just miss the boat on it, especially since I don't even know what it is. But NEM, yeah, I would jump in here at 30% if I got to know the tech. I wouldn't buy it at 58 cents personally. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts. Drop a comment below, and we'll see you guys next time.